and welcome to this demonstration and teach of the game Cup of Tea. This is a tabletop simulator mod of the game, which I'll be using to show you the components and teach you the rules. Cup of Tea is a game played over 4 rounds. Each round you're going to be deciding who gets up to get the cup of tea, and you'll be doing that by sending signals with different cards that you have in your hand. Up I get indicates that you are starting to get up. It's like a kind of micro expression of your intention to get up, whereas a nope is a clear indication that you are not getting up out of your comfy chair. The other cards that are involved are a maybe, while I'm up, and a yes please. Each round you're going to be 3 times choosing a card from your hand and placing it on the table face down. In most cases you're then going to simultaneously with everyone else flip the card up, and in most cases you won't be doing anything else after that, just simply repeating that process again and again, each time revealing it simultaneously. If your hand contains the most up I gets as any other player, you're going to be the one getting up to get the cup of tea. If there's a draw, the little number in the bottom hand corner will determine it. So the cards, however, can complicate these rules, and I'll explain what they mean. The way that you win the game is that you end up with the highest joy score at the end. So you can think of joy as kind of your victory points, and you'll derive joy either from the cards you played as a kind of representation of a sort of social acclaim for getting up to get the tea, or offering to get up to get the cup of tea, for example. Also you will, at the end of each round, add your comfort to the joy. If you do get up to the cup of tea, you won't be adding any comfort. You'll turn your comfort to 0, and so you won't add that bonus to the tea, to your joy at the end of the score. But generally speaking, you'll be adding, over the course of the game, a mix of joy directly and comfort turning into joy. So let's go through what the cards do individually, because they'll change those basic rules of the game. So first off, we'll look at the nope card, because the nope card has a kind of special rule indicated by the 3 cards at the bottom there, and one being lighter than the others, is that you must, if you wish to play the nope card for its effect, it must be the first card that you choose to reveal. So if I was to make another hand of 7 at the start of the game, you're going to set up, by the way, by giving each player 7 cards, and by putting player tokens on the 3 comfort level here and the 0 of joy. Then each player would choose a card from their hand, turn it face down, and put it on the table out of the 7 that they have. Then simultaneously they'd flip them up. Now the nope has to be the first card that's played for its effect. You can, if later on, if for example this player was to choose a nope, put it face down, then when it's turned up, you just turn it back down again, and it would simply count as a blank. It'll have no special effects. It's kind of a waste of a play. So if you want the nope to have any kind of effect, you need to play it as the first card. Because it's such a final nope, I'm not going to be doing anything else. All the subsequent cards that the nope player plays don't get turned up. So no one knows what they are. No one needs to know, because the nope player has simply ruled themselves out. They won't be getting any of the bonuses for them. But after the 3 cards are revealed, if the person plays a nope, as indicated here, they're going to be increasing their comfort. So let's say that this was the red player. They would be increasing their comfort to 6. Okay. If they were the only player who played a nope that round, they'll also take the scorn token. So if someone else played a nope, you're safe. You don't have to take the scorn token. But if you're the only one, you do. Now there's only 1 scorn token per game. So if someone else is in future rounds is the only one to play a nope, they'll take the scorn token off you. And the scorn token is minus 10 joy at the very end of the game. So whoever's left with it at the end of the game is getting a minus 10 joy. So whenever you play a nope, there's a little risk that you're the only one who nopes, which makes you look rather bad, and you have to take the scorn token. In addition, you're really ruling out your the benefit of playing any additional cards that round, but you will get to increase your comfort. Firstly, from 3 to 6, but if you were to nope again, you'd increase from 6 to 10. It's the only way you can increase your comfort in the game, so that's kind of very useful because at the end of the round, that comfort gets added to your joy, and it also stays right there at 6. So on future rounds, provided you don't lose your comfort, you will either be able to increase it from 6 to 10, or even if it just stays at 6, you'll be adding that 6 to your joy score. So that's what the nope does. Let's consider what the maybe card does. Okay, the maybe card, if you have played the most maybes of any player, or the equal most. So once again, let's make ourselves a third hand to make this point, given that this person's all noped up. In this particular situation, let's say that this player has played an up I get, a maybe, and a maybe, and you have played a maybe, and an up I get, then both of you will be drawing an extra card next turn. As indicated here, you'll draw 2 cards plus 1 card if you played the most or equal most maybes on the last turn. That is quite good because by default, players are only drawing 2 cards. Obviously, you've got to make yourself a 3-card hand here if you can, and so only drawing 2 cards means you're going to have a diminishing pool of cards to play from. But if you are making sure that you, like others, are playing a decent amount of maybes, or this, equal most, which could be 1, but cannot be none, then you will draw an extra card. Now, just to be mindful, if this person was to play 3 maybes, obviously this player here would not draw that extra card. So that's nopes and maybes, but what about the confident actual desire to get up and get the cup of tea? Well, up I gets. Up I gets, if you play an up I get, and so does another player, okay, the person who plays the most up I gets will be the one who gets up to get the cup of tea. You can see in this diagram here, there's pot of tea. The person will also get 6 joy points. However, as you can see here, if you get up to get the cup of tea, you'll reset your comfort level to 0. So let's say yellow got up to get the cup of tea, they would drop their comfort level to 0, and they would gain 6 points. They're not going to be gaining additional points from here. They're just going to gain that 6 points. At the start of the next round, though, their comfort will reset to 3. So it's not a permanent kind of impairment. It's just, it will reset to 3. Now, in addition, if this player, we'll just switch cards for a second to make this point, if this player had a while I'm up card, they can play it. Now, the while I'm up card is different somewhat to the up I get cards in the sense that it can either be played as one of the three, or after it's determined that you're the one getting up, it can be played from your hand. You may say to yourself, why is this player getting up when this player also played one up I get? The higher number wins, and I say wins because it's not necessarily good to get up, but wins the opportunity to get up, and so this player would be the one who gets up. So if they were to play this in addition afterwards, then they would have gone to 9 points. Notice though that leaves them with a much smaller pool of cards in their hand, and given that they're only drawing a limited number, that's going to impact on their future hands. It can even mean that you put yourself in a position where you cannot make a 3-card hand, in which case just play the cards as many as you can and leave the rest unplayed because you've got nothing to play. Assuming they had the while I'm up card in hand, they've gone to 9 points. But what's happened to this player over here? Because they played an equal number of up I gets, right? They're actually going to get 5 points of social acclaim, even though they don't need to get up. So, assuming that they were, say, the green player, okay, then they would be getting 5 points for that. Notice now they cannot play this while I'm up card and get the bonus from that because they're not getting up. So they hold on to this until a future hand. But they've still got 5 points. And at the end of the round, as you see here, they're going to be adding the 3 from here to their comfort score, to their joy. So 3 from their comfort goes to their joy. So they almost end up with a score as high as the yellow player, even though they didn't get up. And it took, the yellow player had to play an additional card from their hand in order to make that happen. Sometimes you'll know that you're going to be getting up, in which case you can play that as a 3rd card. It's perfectly legitimate to do that. If you play it as a 3rd card or a 2nd card or a 1st card and you aren't the person who gets up, that's okay, but you just won't get the bonus. So, a bit of a wasted play. So, the last card to explain is the Yes Please card. Now, the Yes Please card plays slightly differently. So, if this player, for example, was to play maybe and a Yes Please, which they could do, when they flip up their Yes Please, they move it in front of another player, but they can't move it in front of anyone. They can't move it in front of the note player. They can't move it in front of a player who only had maybes. They can only move it in front of a player who has played an up I get card without playing a note card, right? And so that would be this player, and they would turn it so that the arrow at the top is pointing back at them. Now, the Yes Please card has 2 effects. One is it will increase the number of up I gets that this player is considered to have for the purposes of determining who gets up. Okay? It doesn't determine it for the purposes of point allocation, right? So this player got 5 because they had an equal number of points, equal number of up I gets. They would still, if they had, say, this situation, they would still count as having an equal number of up I gets for the purposes of getting those 5 points. But they would, however, not have an equal number when it comes to determining who gets up. That would be clearly this person with 2. We're having more. Now notice this can actually create a situation where you could have more up I gets as you've played, right? But due to this player having 2 of these on them, so another player over here who's played it, then, or it could be this player as well, then this player counts as having 3 up I gets for the purposes of getting up, and this person would only count as 2. So this player would be the person who gets up, and you would still get that 5 bonus. So that 5 bonus is the same as if you're equal or more in terms of what's here. You'll notice there's a 3 bonus as well. So if you did not play a nope and didn't get up, you're going to get 3 joy, so long as you played at least 1 up I get card, and you played 1 less than the player who got up. Now, in this particular case, the player only got 1, so no one's going to be able to get 1 less while they still play 1. But if by chance this situation was reversed in some way, or alternatively even like this, then this would be the person who gets up, clearly, and this player would count as someone who has played 1 less up I get card. So they would get 3 points for that. So the yes please determines can kind of push someone over the edge to make sure they're the person who gets up, not you. But it can also mean, in addition, that that you, if that person gets up, you'll get 2 joy points. And so if you get up to get the tea, the first thing you would do is reset your comfort to 0. You would then add the 6 joy for getting up. If you would add 3 joy for every while I'm up you played, and then you would add 2 joy to the players of any yes pleases in front of you. So let's just change this situation again, just so that we can keep making this point. Okay, this player would get those 9 points for getting up. They would then reward whoever played this in front of them with 2 joy points, and that would be the total of their turn, or their score for that turn. Let's make sure we calculate everyone else. So red would be at 6, by the way, given that we've already calculated theirs. They're at 3. If by chance, in this particular case, green, because we changed it, are not the equal, but they are 1 less, then in fact green would not have gotten 5 points for that. They would have only got 3 points for it. 3 plus 3, which is 6. And then if they had have played a yes please, if one of these had have been theirs, which I guess would mean this would be impossible, then they would get 2 more for that. So this kind of a spread of points at the end of the game is certainly, at the end of the first round, is certainly quite normal, right? At the end of each round, you've added that value of your comfort to your joy, which we've done. Now at the start of round 2, 3, and 4, drawing 2 cards, plus 1 card if you played the most or equal most maybes on the last turn. And so you would just draw, in this case, these player, we've changed these numbers, so these cards so much that it's quite confusing, but they would be drawing 2. The nope would simply always draw 2. And this player, if they had played this moment, maybe would be the only one drawing a 3. and that would be the position with which you would do the next turn. However, note that now people are already at different levels. At the start of the round, this person resets to 3, but this person would stay at 6, and you would go again. Once again, now you have a certain number of cards in your hand, and you're playing them. You're choosing one and putting it down. Remembering that the nope, if you wish to nope, you need to do that as your first card if you want it to have any effect, and then after that, the rest are all blanks. Notice that, of course, people can play yes pleases on you, so it can be a challenge to figure out. Once you choose to put an up or get down, you are risking that people will encourage you to get up. The other thing about the yes please is that it can be played face down when nobody else has any cards. If when you turn it up, other players turn up a maybes and a no, then there is nowhere where you can put it, because you need to have at least an up I get card. At least an up I get card. Sorry, that was my dog. Moving them on. At least an up I get card and no nope in front of them. So if there is nowhere you could move it, once you've turned it up, then you have to turn it back down and it becomes a blank and a wasted card. If, on the other hand, the card that people played that turn was an up I get, then you are jolly good and you can place it straight away. So it's after the cards are revealed, you check whether or not anyone has an up I get card and no nope. That's the sum total of the rules. The end of the fourth and final round, there are some slight differences. And so you get +4 joy if you play the E most or equal most maybes that turn. And that's because obviously there won't be any future turns for you to draw an extra card. And then of course the horrible scorn token, which may well have moved on from you if you nope and pick it up the first turn. It may be that on subsequent turns someone is unfortunate enough to be the only player who nopes, or it could be that you're stuck with it all game and you have to face that -10 penalty. Cool. If you nope while you're at 10, there's no further you can go, but you are at least guaranteeing that no one will be able to make you get up. Thanks for that. I hope I have the opportunity to play this with you, and or you have the opportunity to play it yourself. All these rules and cards and board are all in Tabletop Simulator as Cup of Tea. I've made the mod public, so feel free to enjoy it. As playtesting continues, things will continue to change and I will update the mod with them as well. Thanks a lot.